Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping straight into a tactical breakdown of one of the absolute coolest and honestly most imposing marine environments we've got in our source material, the giant kelp forest. Think of this as your official mission briefing. We're going to break down the physical structures, the environmental hazards, and the underlying biological purpose of this massive underwater maze. We've got a lot of ocean to cover, so let's move fast and analyze exactly what we're dealing with here. Okay, let's dive into this. Our source material basically drops us right into the thick of it with that classic command, Kwazii, activate creature report. It's such a great, fun way to instantly shift us from just casually watching to actively focusing. The second that creature report is activated, you know it's time to lock in. We're basically being tasked to look at the raw data, assess the situation, and figure out exactly what's waiting for us beneath the waves. Section 1. Anatomy of kelp forests, assessing the environment. Right, so before we can even think about navigating this space, we have to understand how it's built. And this brilliantly illustrates the point by using a super relatable metaphor. It describes it as a forest in the sea that's tall just like a tree. I mean, it's a simple comparison, but it's absolutely crucial for our spatial awareness. The source is explicitly telling us to take our mental image of a massive towering land forest and just drop that exact same scale right into the ocean. We aren't just talking about seaweed here, this is a towering canopy. It completely replicates the vertical scale of terrestrial trees, creating this massive three-dimensional grid that entirely shapes the landscape down there. Section 2. Navigating the hazards. Structural integrity. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how quickly the source pivots from describing this majestic underwater forest to outlining a pretty severe physical threat assessment. This kelp isn't just tall, it's incredibly thick. And it is incredibly strong. And that formidable structural integrity, that instantly turns the environment into a major tactical hazard. The source flat out warns us, you can get stuck, and it prevents movement. The sheer density of these stalks means the environment actively pushes back against you. It's this highly restrictive terrain that can literally immobilize anyone or anything that tries to just push through unprepared. Section 3. The ocean nursery. High ecosystem stakes. So that begs the question, right? Why on earth does this environment need to be so thick and strong and genuinely difficult to move through? What's the biological endgame for this imposing fortress? Well, it's because those leaves are great places to hide all the babies. Yep, the exact same restrictive, impenetrable nature that makes the kelp forest a total nightmare to navigate is exactly what makes it the perfect sanctuary. It's serving a vital protective function. That dense canopy acts as a highly secure nursery for incredibly vulnerable marine offspring. So you see, the environment isn't just hostile for the sake of being hostile. It's literally an evolutionary fortress designed to keep hungry predators out and safely conceal the next generation deep inside its leaves. Section 4. Teamwork and hazards. The tactical resolution. Okay, so we've got a handle on the sheer scale, the physical threats, and the massive biological stakes of the space. Now, we need a strategy. Based on all this data, how do we actually pull off a successful operation in here? Seriously, I want you to think about it. How do you navigate a towering, thick, incredibly strong environment where the #1 hazard is that you can easily get stuck and lose all ability to move? It is a real-deal survival problem presented by the kelp forest's crazy physical traits. Honestly, a single person trying to solo their way through this barrier is statistically pretty likely to just end up completely immobilized. So the crucial point is how the source material resolves this. It gives us the ultimate strategic answer. This might take all of us working together. Overcoming an environmental obstacle that is this complex, this strong, and this restrictive, it absolutely requires unified collective action. You simply cannot brute force your way through a natural fortress like this. It demands coordination. It demands that a team pools their resources, watch each other's backs, and actively helps out to make sure nobody gets tangled up. At the end of the day, the only way to actually survive the forest in the sea is together. And with that, we close the loop exactly where we started, wrapping up our briefing with that initial command. Kwazii, activate creature report. We've analyzed the data, we've seen these massive towering trees of the sea, the structural hazards that lock down movement, the hidden nurseries, and of course the absolute necessity of teamwork. But before we go, I want to leave you with a final thought to ponder as we wrap up this explainer. If the only way to successfully navigate the most thick, strong, and impenetrable obstacles nature throws at us is through unified collective action, are these environments really just physical barriers? Or are they specifically designed by nature to force us to learn how to work together? Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll catch you in the next one.